The days are starting to get a little shorter, and the harvest is coming in strong. It is pepper season, which I'm really excited about. And today at Witch Hollow Homestead, I'm going to show you how I make red pepper jelly and how I can it. Let's get started. I started out with 12 jars, but in the end, it ended up making a total of 18 jars. So I didn't estimate correctly, but that's okay. More is better. Since I'm only going to be canning these for 10 minutes, once they're in the water bath canner, I am going to sterilize my jars and my lids first. Normally for this recipe, I use red bell peppers. However, because our growing season has been so strange, it doesn't look like we're going to have any red bell peppers this year. So instead, I am using sweet red cubanellas. Here's my recipe that I'm going to be using today. I've never tried these before to make pepper jelly, so we're just going to see how it goes. The first thing I'm going to do is cut the tops off and get them sliced in half. Now that they're all sliced in half, I'm going to wash them. I'm going to also remove the stems and get all the seeds out, because I don't want any seeds in my red pepper jelly. I know that it won't really affect the flavor, but I just don't like to have a hard seed in there while I'm trying to spread it on a cracker or put it on rice or maybe put it on some toast. I'm going to begin by cutting up all of my freshly washed peppers into smaller pieces. They don't have to be real tiny because I am putting them in the food processor, but I do want to cut them up so they easily grind up. I'm going to give these a good grind in the food processor, and I want them ground very fine because, again, this is going to be a jelly. And this is the texture that you're looking for. There is one important step that I forgot to do when making this recipe, and I thought about it after I already started cooking the pepper jelly. My mom, this is her recipe, and what she does after she grinds her peppers is she puts them in a metal strainer, and then she adds 2 tablespoons of salt, mixes it around, and lets the peppers sit for about 20 minutes. That way all the excess liquid comes out of them, and then she puts her peppers in the pot and starts cooking everything together. So that was my mistake. Definitely do that step because I ended up having to add a little more sugar and chia seeds in order to thicken the jam. It still tastes the same, but it just won't be as thick. So once you strain your peppers, as I just mentioned, you're going to put them in a pot, and you are going to add 4 cups of vinegar to the pot. And I just want to point out, these measurements are specifically for 16 cubanella peppers. Then I'm going to add 7 cups of organic cane sugar. We're now ready to get this on our stove. I'm going to put this on medium-high heat, and I'm going to keep a close eye on it and stir it pretty consistently. I don't want any of the peppers to stick to the bottom, and since there is a lot of sugar in the pot, it can boil over and occur very quickly. So just make sure you stay very focused on the cook pot. It has been about 25 minutes, and as you can see, it's starting to get nice and frothy. And when I stop stirring, you will see it starting to consistently bubble. Once it stays bubbling, then I'm going to lower the heat a little bit to medium and just keep it cooking so that it has a steady boil to it. While the red pepper jelly was cooking, I filled a water bath canning pot with water, and I started heating that. Since I will be hot packing this red pepper jelly, I can get my pot up to boil, turn it off, let it sit, and then add the hot jars to it and turn the burner back on. It'll speed up my canning time. Because I didn't strain the excess water off, it seemed a little thin for me, so I added 8 tablespoons of chia seeds, which worked out perfectly. Once the red pepper jelly began to have a steady boil, I cooked it for an additional 20 to 25 minutes. The red pepper jelly has thickened, so we are ready to start canning. For this red pepper jelly recipe, I am using the half-pint jars or the jelly jars. I'm going to make sure to leave about 1 inch of headspace at the top. And then I'm going to wipe all the rims with some vinegar. That way it'll help the jars seal. And I can fit 12 small half-pint jars in my water bath canner at one time, which is really handy. You're going to can these for 10 minutes. And then once your 10 minutes is up, you're going to turn the heat off and let them sit in your canning pot for another 5 minutes before removing them. This red pepper jelly is so delicious and so addicting. It works great on crackers. It's awesome on cheese. It's delicious on rice if you have veggies and rice for dinner. And I've even put it on top of pasta sometimes with spaghetti sauce because it gives it a little bit of a different flavor. Trust me, you're going to love this if you've never tried it. Thank you so much for joining me at Witch Hollow Homestead today. I hope you found this video helpful and inspiring. If you like to make red pepper jelly or any types of jellies, comment below and let me know. I'm really interested in trying different types of peppers for these jelly recipes, so let me know what you make. Happy homesteading!